Hello, everyone. I am Bogdan. I am your guest for the podcast. I am here with Silviu from Arggo that currently works with Timecode. I believe that we are going to do a very interesting podcast with Silviu today. So, without further ado, I'm going to let Silviu introduce himself. Again, thank you very much, Silviu, for accepting our invite. And without further ado, please, this is your chance to introduce yourself.
Thank you, Bogdan, and thank you for sending the invitation to us to be present in your podcast. I'm Silviu. Hi to everyone. I'm partner specialist development at Arggo, and you will be hearing a lot from my side about AI and timecode.
Thank you very much for introducing yourself. First of all, what inspired you? What inspired actually the creation of Timecode, and which specific market problem does it address?
We will have to cover a bit of context before explaining what timecode does and what it is. So I will address first of all who is Arggo, and Arggo is a partner of Microsoft who is implementing Business Central, Finance and Operation, basically implements ERPs for different customers along in Romania, and even internationally we have customers. ERPs, it's best to accommodate general workflows, not very specific custom flows, business flows. So therefore, when a company has specific workflows, it's best to accommodate them differently from ERP. So that's how Timecode platforms fits in. During the time, Arggo has seen that the requirements of building this custom workflows outside of ERP. So that's why we have created Timecode. What is Timecode? Basically, it's a platform, a no-code, low-code platform. What it does, it basically allows developers, and they don't have to be like old-fashioned way developers, like traditional developers knowing to write code. You can use the Timecode platform to develop web applications, web applications, any kind of UI, any kind of design, any kind of functionalities. It has basically 5 modules. One is to create a database. A second one is to create workflows, those specific workflows that I was talking about for the companies. Third is to create how does the application look like. It's basically developing the UI. And fourth is basically the plugin area, because Timecode at the end of the day can accommodate integration with legacy applications. So as we are a Microsoft partner, it's natively integrated with the ERP, so it can communicate, send data, retrieve data from the ERP. So it's a no-code, low-code platform to develop web applications that can accommodate any kind of business workflow for customers. And recently, obviously, we have artificial intelligence in our platform, so that customer can leverage AI into their workflows. In a nutshell,
Thank you very much.
that's time.
Yeah, thank you very much for explaining a little bit about Argo and about Timecode. I'll also leave some links in the description for people to check it out if you would like to.
Thank you.
But right now, Silvio, what are you responsible for in the context of maybe I don't know, building Timecode or updating it or maintaining it? So what are you responsible for?
I wear different hats at Argo. One of the hats that I wear is basically expanding the ecosystem of Argo, bringing new companies to join our ecosystem in adopting the technology Timecode to develop applications. Another role is to keep an eye on the AI trend and what can we use from AI, from Element to enhance web applications. So basically, if there is anything to ask about the AI within Argo, it's me who you reach out to ask what's nowadays AI up to, and what are new suppliers of artificial intelligence and so on, and capabilities. And another role is to find projects that we can develop in Timecode. So, and not only, obviously, different projects of digitalizations internally for ourselves.
Very interesting. Okay, right now let's talk a little bit about AI since you're the man in Argo to talk to. So, in the current context where everyone talks about AI, how do you manage to move from hype to reality, and how is AI integrated into Timecode?
I think we both agree that there is a lot of hype around artificial intelligence nowadays, and we see a lot of news new capabilities, new agentic web browser, and so on. And how we manage to do this is that we stick to the business flows. And imagine this, we have a workflow in which there are different steps. And we can replace one human step and bring AI to do that step for you in a business flow. So keeping it in a business flow, like being deterministic, so that it won't allow the AI to be fuzzy, because you have probably you have been in situation in which artificial intelligence can be hallucinating or can be fuzzy and mess your data or your plan. So we are approaching deterministic how we can implement AI. So that's one side of how we can, iterate from Hive to actually see the usefulness in intelligence, in the artificial intelligence. So another step is obviously how secure it is to use AI, and we're using Gemini, for instance, which is obviously a secured, I would say, artificial intelligence to use nowadays, or OpenAI and Copilot from Microsoft. So it's important to use, well-known and the common AI suppliers nowadays. And obviously the data that's being, stored in Timecode, it's obviously in a Microsoft environment. We're depending on and not only on how secure are the data stored for our customers. And I'm thinking about also sharing with people that we are flexible with Timecode. So it's not just having the data within Microsoft. We can deploy on-prem Timecode as well. So we can, Timecode can keep the data into customer warehouses. So not only, into Microsoft and so on. And that's how we do it, deterministic, seeing it as a flow level.
Very interesting. Very interesting. Very interesting and insightful answer. I believe that I should have started with. Sorry.
No, I was thinking now that maybe it makes sense to give people some examples. What actually, because business flows, it's easy to think that is actually a flow, but how specifically? Or let's share some examples, and I'll give you an example. Let's see in insurance industry. You've damaged, well, not you. Let's take a damaged car, for instance. Someone at some point will have to review some photos of that damaged car, right? And you would have to say that the front bumper is damaged and the rear bumper is damaged and so on. So you will have to write by his own what are the damages, visible damages of that car. And we can replace that obviously with AI, with Vision AI. We can send out the photos to AI like you would traditionally do. If you go now into ChatGPT or to Gemini, and you would upload the photo and ask, hey, here is a damaged car attached into the photo. What are the damaged parts of the car? We can basically do that as well in Timecode. And even more than that is that we can actually accommodate an instruction file. So along with a prompt that goes to AI, we can accommodate an instruction file that specifically asks how to behave the AI in order to return the results from AI. And we can parse that information from AI into an application, into a form. So let's say if you have a form in which you have front bumper, rear bumper, and you only need to type in what is damaged, the description of the damages, we can put AI into the workflow so that the insurance guy that was mandatory before to type in the description, he only has to validate if it's right or wrong. I'll give you another example, Vision AI as well. Let's say that I'm not sure if you're familiar with, or many people probably are not familiar with, but since the UK legislation have changed, the trucks that are being sent over to UK, they have to report every stop that they had before entering UK. And if the driver stops during the weekend, he doesn't have to whom to report, because most likely in Romania, people are not working usually during the weekend. So that report that the truck driver must fulfill, it can be done by AI as well. The only need that the driver must do is take some photos of the truck, send it to AI, and AI will fill out the report and also validate if the photo is okay or not. Let's say if it's fuzzy or it's not understandable, or the AI must recognize if it's a serial number that must match what you have in your system, can do that. And if it's a match, it will send an approve to the truck driver. And if it's not, it will send a notification to the truck driver that he has to take the photo, to retake the photo. Another example. I think the most common scenarios are with documents, unstructured data that we have in a lot of documents. Even if we are talking about HR departments, sales departments, acquisition departments, a lot of documents can be, sent to AI and extract from the documents what we need exactly from them. Before AI, obviously, people might be aware of OCR, but you would have to train an OCR where to find the data, like 2-3 steps of training the OCR. Nowadays, you don't actually need to do that. It's just an instruction file, a prompt, and from the JSONs that returns from the AI, we can parse the data into a form. I hope I'm not being too technical. Usually I'm not a technical person, but JSON, when I say the JSON, the return from AI is basically what is the result that comes out from AI. And what I mean by parse is basically copying the data from the response from AI into an application, into a form, so that you have structured data from unstructured data, such as PDFs, documents, and scans, and so on. So I pretty much hope that these kind of examples, accommodate how we see AI into business workflows and how we can, leverage AI into business applications.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's very obvious and very easy to understand the examples that you gave us. Right now, the next question I have, so I've seen a lot of no-code or low-code platforms. What does, Timecode do different than other platforms? What sets it apart?
I'm glad you asked that, because there are like 3,000 no-code platforms outside, and it is important to know what kind of no-code platform you would choose to develop your application. And there are different approaches in which we are differentiating from other platforms out there. First of all, and I must say, that is the costing. Some platforms are not quite easy to understand their pricing. For Timecode, it's quite basic. We help our companies, our customers, to budget how much it will cost for 3 months, 6 months, 1 year from now on, because we are unlimited. We can build, actually, for our customers, we can develop unlimited applications, unlimited workflows. The pricing is not getting up. It's only a matter of how many users you have on the platform using those applications. So it's easy to budget the license for a Timecode. If you have 10 users, you pay a price. You pay a price. If you have 100 users, then obviously it scales up. So it's quite easy to accommodate the pricing and to budget how much it's going to cost at the end of the day using Timecode. Another key differentiator is that in some no-code platforms, you might end up not being able to develop further because the functionality that you need in your application is not available in that platform, and it cannot be developed no-code. You have to use code. And again, Timecode is addressing to non-technical people, to no coders, but you still have to have some Excel knowledge to be able to develop applications in Timecode. So in Timecode, you can build any kind of functionality you have in yours, in your need, basically any kind of functionality and any kind of design of your applications. So that's another differentiator. Yes, it is a technical platform. That's how it allows people to accommodate any kind of functionality. And I would say that a third differentiator is that, well, we are addressing internationally. It's not for a specific legislation or for a specific industry or for a specific territory. But when it comes to Romania, we are definitely sure that it is a platform that it has been accommodated for Romania. And why I say that? It's because in Timecode we have developed e-factură, e-billing, e-transport, e-transport, and SAFT. So those are specific requirements from Romania that required interaction with SPV. So when it comes to the territory of Romania, we are definitely a go-to platform because we have, being experimented already different scenarios in which we are required to address the SPV. So those are main differentiators. And obviously, not sure how many platforms are having already AI, but be sure that Timecode already has AI natively integrated, and we can leverage AI into web applications.
That's very interesting. I believe the one that is specifically for Romanian territory is very interesting. So I believe that that was the most interesting differentiator you gave us. Right now,
Yep.
when you think about the future of AI in business, what do you think is the next big thing, the next big hype, let's say?
Well, I see it from a different perspective. Obviously, the next step, and even for us, would be agentic. Probably most people would have heard about agents doing stuff, being
Yeah.
assistants, and so on. And we even now we see agentic web browsers like Comet from Perplexity, or these days OpenAI have released Atlas for Mac users, and we see Google with Gemini, we see Edge with Copilot. So we are on a roadmap, obviously, to be having agents that will aid in our flows. And I think this is the next big thing, like allowing agents to interact in your place. And I was reading an ADK, Agent Development Kit from Google the other days. They're basically sharing knowledge on how to build loop agents, workflow agents, and some kind of agents that are kind of autonomous. They're sitting there and awaiting for a trigger around them to actually start doing tasks. I think this is the next big thing. How would agents would look like for organizations? And I think this depends also with the development of MCPs, like model context protocols. And again, I don't want to be technical, but what is MCP basically at the end of the day is just a tool that an agent, an AI can leverage to do tasks. That's how web browser actually works with agentic assistance. It does have an MCP, a tool that allows the AI to interact with the web browser. Claude, for instance, has MCPs for Windows, and you can ask Claude to do stuff on your Windows, and you can obviously put those tools in a workflow, and there you have it, an agentic solution to replace human interaction. I think this is the next big thing. So agentic AGI, agentic, how would you want to call it? But that, and it's not necessarily, well, it is actually the best, the happening. So it's not something new. It's actually ongoing and happens. And it's something that we are addressing also in Timecode in the future.
Maybe some people didn't catch up to it until now.
Well, this is something new, definitely. Well, it's being spoken about it from a year or so, but it's just now that we are actually seeing some live applications and some live agents doing stuff. And Microsoft, for instance, has a platform called Copilot Studio, in which you can I was on a call before our meeting, and I was trying to sketch out some agents, and I want to take the opportunity of our podcast and to share with people that at the end of the day, it's not just an agent doing everything. It's like an army of agents. So imagine that you have one agent to conversate with, but that particular agent will address and it will segment your query, your task to different agents. So it's the next big thing is basically, and I'm assuming that a new title will appear like agentic solution something developer that will sketch out how the agents should work, what the information passes to each other, and then so on. So it's like
Very
an
interesting
agentic
one.
business analyst, let's say. So yes, new roles will be seen in LinkedIn jobs.
Yeah, you seem like you're really knowledgeable on AI trends and everything like evolving LLMs and AI and agents and whatnot. So that's a really big. I think Argo has a really cool, edge on the market, having you there. with all the
No,
knowledge that you have with AI. Yeah,
I'm
because it's the
surprised you
same
say
thing.
that. I was trying to be modest. Just kidding. But
Yeah,
yes, it's
I'm sure you
important
have.
to have.
Yeah, I'm sure you have like more knowledge than you're sharing right now. So maybe we can do a follow up podcast talking only on AI. But yeah, we'll
Yeah,
see that.
we can do that, of course.
Sure.
And I'm not a developer, but I'm using different IDEs with integrated AI to build stuff, to play around. Actually, it's just a process of learning AI. And why do we do this? And why is this another hat that I'm wearing at Argo? It's because we're putting AI into Argo's roadmap. So we have to have someone out there to keep an eye on AI trends in order to fit in our roadmap AI.
Yeah, that's right. Right now, if you had a magic wand and you could accelerate one change in how companies adopt AI, what would it be? So, what would you change, or what would you
Cool.
accelerate?
I will speak again about AI, but there are plenty of
Yeah.
stuff that I would like to change in Romania, and I'll give you a story as well. I'll quote a CEO. I'm not gonna give his name. He did say something about AI. He said people with AI will replace people that don't have AI, and I kind of agree with that. And the reason why I do agree with that is because you can leverage AI nowadays. You can leverage Copilot. You can leverage ChatGPT to deliver faster and to deliver more enhanced. And what I mean by enhanced is, I don't know, in a summary you can deliver something much more enhanced with ChatGPT, or in a an email to a customer you can definitely use ChatGPT to specific points that you want to address to customer are enhanced in a way that it's more understandable. And I think those people that are not embracing AI at some point will be replaced, obviously, by people who are leveraging AI because they can deliver faster and more enhanced. And you were asking me about the magic one. That's what I would like to change, and not only to companies, but to all the people, and not just because I'm an AI enthusiast. It's because I see the value in it, and I think that there is no way to escape actually from the AI idea at the end of the day. So it's better to embrace it than just to be, against it. So
Yeah, of course.
first magic that I would do, allow advising people to be friendlier with and to companies, I would say don't think about how much it costs. Don't say it's an expensive tool before actually seeing it in production or in a demo. Actually, I'm here, Argo is here, Argo can can take projects from customers and estimate how much it will cost for them. Don't label AI as it's an expensive tool before actually asking someone how much it's gonna cost me to use AI. And I'll give you an example. I've built an application, simple application, just to see some features we're working on, and to attach an Excel, a single sheet with of Excel, 300 lines of Excel. I have attached that Excel to an AI and asked it to parse some information from Excel in a different format, in an application, in a form. And for one run, it has cost me 0.003 cents. So it's incredibly cheap. And I was using GPT-5, like the latest model from OpenAI, and you don't even have to use for all the scenarios GPT-5. You can use GPT-4, or you can use something much more cheaper. It depends on if you'd like the AI to reason about or not. It depends. So again, it is cheap to actually use AI services from vendors such as OpenAI or Gemini. So that would be the second spell I would do with a magic wand. uh, Erase from your memory the label that AI is expensive. It's expensive. It's not actually. Maybe the development, depending on what do you need. That's why you have Timecode. That's why you have no-code developers. In essence, it's allowing our team to develop more faster an application, and obviously much more accessible than traditional development.
Yeah, Very interesting. Right now, if you could leave a message, so this is the end of the podcast. Basically, I've asked all my questions. If you could leave a message to the world, to the people that are watching right now, what would it be? It could be business wise, AI wise, I don't know, personal life wise, work life balance, I don't know. Whatever you feel like, you can share it right now.
Well, obviously, what would you expect me to say after all this AI? It's a statement, keep an eye on AI.
Yeah.
Those who doesn't have AI, obviously, now it was a Romanian say who doesn't have an older, he should buy, or she should buy an older. Make time for AI. That's my advice at the end of the day. Yeah, keep an eye on AI and make some time for it. And it's, again, you have free platforms. You can use ChatGPT for free. You can use Compiler for free. You can use it for free just to see how it works. Not only for personal usage, because I think that nowadays lots of people use it just for random questions, random stuff, and now business
Yeah.
related.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't be afraid to use it for business. I mean, you don't have specifically to share data. You don't have to share data about your customers, but you can, share what should be the output of your request to the AI without sharing the actual data, and use it.
Yeah.
So I guess that is my message to the world. Keep an eye on AI.
Yeah. Thank you very much for this message.
And sorry, just want to emphasize why keep an eye on AI is because I haven't seen anything in my life, and I have been in different industries uh till now. I haven't seen something that has that much speed as the AI industry, and I think people agree with me here that it has an enormous speed of everything every from a month to another you would see new stuff, new LLM, new capability, and so on. So the speed is crazy.
Yeah.
So catch up now till it's not too late.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Silvio, for
Thank
the
you.
answers, and thank you for participating again to the podcast. I believe we did a really interesting podcast. And thank you
You
for the
too.
viewers for watching the podcast as well. And I'll see you guys in the next one.
Cheers, everyone. Bye bye.